Do not forget, you can support the channel with a like, and you can also subscribe to be aware of the latest published videos. Thank you. We hope that here you can find the latest news, ideas, and discoveries from the scientific world.
A sailboat crew was just rescued in the Pacific Ocean after a giant whale sunk their ship. Though their ship sank quickly after the whale strike, the crew was soon rescued thanks to a number of other boats nearby. Rick Rodriguez and 3 friends were 13 days into their dream sailing trip when disaster struck, literally. While sailing from the Galápagos Islands to French Polynesia, at least one whale struck their boat and sank it. Rodriguez and the others spent 10 hours at sea before they were rescued. It just happened in an instant. It was just a very violent impact with some crazy sounding noises and the whole boat shook, Rodriguez recounted to NBC News. It sounded like something broke and we immediately looked to the side and we saw a really big whale bleeding. As the Washington Post reports, Rodriguez and 3 friends, Alana Litz, Bianca Bretanu, and Simon Fisher, were in the middle of making lunch on March 13th when they felt something collide with their ship, the Raindancer. The second pizza had just come out of the oven, and I was dipping a slice into some ranch dressing, Rodriguez told the Washington Post. The back half of the boat lifted violently upward into starboard. As the boat's alarm went off and water began to pour through the hull, Rodriguez and the others rushed to gather the necessary supplies, food, safety and emergency equipment, and bottled water. 15 minutes later, they scrambled onto a lifeboat and a dinghy and watched as the Raindancer disappeared beneath the ocean waves at an unbelievable speed. Then, Rodriguez and the others started sending messages asking for help. "Tommy, this is no joke," Rodriguez wrote to his friend Tommy Joyce, who was 180 miles behind them on the same route. "We hit a whale and the ship went down. Tell as many boats as you can. Battery is dangerously low." The Guardian reports that Rodriguez also sent mayday messages via a VHF radio and sent a distress signal to a worldwide rescue network. Then, the 4 friends waited, powering down their devices to conserve power. Fortunately, their messages were rapidly received. Peruvian officials picked up Rodriguez's distress signal and notified the U.S. Coast Guard, and Joyce messaged back to assure Rodriguez and the others that help was coming. "We got you, bud," Joyce wrote back, according to the Washington Post. "We have a bunch of boats coming. We got you, brother." In fact, there were a number of boats in the area, from yachts participating in a rally to a commercial vessel called Dongamea. The closest boat was a 45-foot catamaran called the Rolling Stones, which was just 35 miles from where the Raindancer sank. Its captain, Jeff Stone, messaged with Joyce and Peruvian officials to determine the Raindancer's last known coordinates. It took Stone and his crew 9 tense hours to reach Rodriguez and the others. As Stone later explained, he wasn't sure if he'd be able to find them in the open sea. "The seas weren't terrible, but we've never done a search and rescue," he said. Happily, Stone was able to find Rodriguez and the others and safely bring them aboard. In all, the Raindancer crew had spent 10 hours adrift at sea. According to the Washington Post, there have been 1,200 reports of whale boat collisions since records started being kept in 2007. However, such collisions usually don't cause extreme damage. The last whale boat collision that required rescue was in 2009, when a whale strike sunk a 40-foot boat off the coast of Baja California, requiring a Coast Guard rescue. In the aftermath, Rodriguez expressed both gratitude for the rescue and sadness for the loss of his ship, where he'd been living since 2021. "I've worked so hard to be here, and have been dreaming of making landfall at the Bay of Virgins and the Marquesas on my own boat for about 10 years, he said. "In 1,000 nautical miles short my boat sinks. However," he added, "I feel very lucky and grateful that we were rescued so quickly. We were in the right place at the right time to go down."